Today I want to share the story of a very well-known hymn, How Great Thou Art. The origin of this hymn may be found with Swedish pastor Karl Boberg around 1886. Boberg was a leading evangelist and poet of his day, also serving in the Swedish parliament. It is said that the inspiration for this hymn came one day as he was caught in a thunderstorm on the coastal town of Monsteras in southeast Sweden. The violence of the storm, followed by the return of the calm and the sun and the singing birds, left him falling on his knees in awe. Soon he penned the 9 stanzas of the original version in Swedish, beginning with O stor Gud. It was published in a local newspaper, and several years later, Boberg unexpectedly heard his poems sung by a congregation to an old Swedish folk melody. Subsequently, it was translated into German and Russian. There was an earlier literal translation into English by Gustav Jonsson, which never really did catch on. In the early 1930s, Stuart K. Hine, an English missionary, first heard the Russian version of O stor Gud in the Ukraine. One day, as the Hine couple crossed into Subcarpathian Russia, the mountain scenery brought back the memory of the song. The first 3 stanzas were composed while in the Carpathian Mountains. When war broke out, Hine and his wife were forced to return to England in 1939. They used the first 3 stanzas in their evangelistic endeavors, and the 4th stanza was added after the war. Now, translation is, of course, more art than science, and Hine took some liberties, most particularly with the title, which in 1949 he rechristened How Great Thou Art. Hine published his English translation alongside the Russian version in Grace and Peace, a magazine that was circulated to missionaries in over 15 countries. British-American evangelist J. Edwin Orr traveled to India in 1954 and heard an English version of How Great Thou Art sung by a Naga choir from the state of Assam in northeast India. He was so impressed by the song that he brought it back to America. When Tim Spencer, the owner of Manna Music Inc., heard the song, he quickly arranged to buy the rights to the song and then did what all good publishers do. He started pushing the song, and it eventually landed in the hands of George Beverly Shea, the famed soloist in the Billy Graham Crusades. Billy Graham reportedly loved the song and quickly made it his evangelistic crusades signature song. The first 2 stanzas establish the grandeur of God's creation, while the refrain establishes our response, How Great Thou Art. In stanza 3, the God of the natural created order continues the creative act by sending God's Son to redeem a lost humanity. With this stanza, the primary theological perspective shifts from creation to atonement. While the first 2 stanzas express humanity's awe at the natural created order, this is not the ultimate goal of the hymn. Human sin has marred the gift of the Creator. The vivid description of nature in the first 2 stanzas finds its fulfillment in heaven or when we escape the earth. The final stanza, however, may be seen as the completion of the story of creation and human redemption. It's all very well to be singing How Great Thou Art when things are beautiful and life is going well, but the power in this song is in its ability to take our eyes off our circumstances and focus them on a great God who is far bigger, far greater than our circumstances. Probably one of my most vivid memories of singing this song was at the memorial service of 2 Mission Aviation Fellowship pilots who lost their lives in a fatal air crash in Papua New Guinea. The crowded church was filled with people singing with tears streaming down their cheeks, How Great Thou Art, when we had lost our friends. The song has been translated into numerous languages, and today I want to share with you a recording that I've done with some of my Papua New Guinean friends in Tok Pisin, which is the national language of PNG.
Papa God, time God planted ting, long all get something new yet walking. Me looking star, me hearing cloudy pyra, all get something so him strong on you. Me lift him up in big name belong you. You yet you God, you big fella, you number one, you want a ball getter, you want fella, you big fella. I'm meeting God in no passing Jesus, and he come down, he died on helping me. On the white cross, blood belong and he capsized, bell belong me, and he keep up no good. Me lift him up in big name belong you. You yet you God, you big fella, you number one, you want a ball getter, you want fella, you big fella. Time Christ he come, sing out him line belonging, na kissing me, he go long place heaven. Me broke him screw, na give him big name longing, talk out longing, oh God you number one. Me lift him up in big name belong you. You yet you God, you big fella, you number one, you want a ball getter, you want fella, you big fella. Me lift him up in big name belong you. You yet you God, you big fella, you number one, you want a ball getter, you